Weather's going to go wild. Have you seen any wild weather? I mean, it's just, we're at the front end of this. There will be signs in the sun and in the moon. I mean, we just had an eclipse yesterday. And blood moons, and there's all this, people get all excited. And the stars. And on the earth, distress of nations with perplexity, because the sea and the waves roaring, and men's hearts, apsuko, there's that Greek word, failing. The spirit pops out of people. It's like a balloon popping. It's really what apsuko means. Pop balloon. Why? Because of fear and the expectation of those things which are coming on the earth. For the powers of the heaven will be shaken. People are going to be looking at their, Facebook Live or their, whatever, I don't even know, TikTok videos, and they're going to see that wall of water coming and wiping out a city, and they're just going to go and just die. Because their body cannot take the fear of what they see with the weather going wild. Well, here's February's weather. This is from the NOAA. February 2024, the average global surface temperature ranked the highest since global records began in 1850. So the NOAA tracks everything, all the satellites, all the ground-based stations, and everybody in Europe, all of our allies, everything, all the weather of the world that they can get the data on. And Australia had the third warmest summer, and Oceania had the fourth warmest. Japan had the second warmest. Asia was only the 26th warmest. Europe had the very warmest ever since 1850. So in 174 years, Europe hit it. The Arctic was third warmest. North America had the warmest in 174 years that they've been keeping records. Now, I know. It was probably warmer in 1849. It doesn't matter. We're looking at the trend that the world is looking at. See, that's why this is important, because you and I know that Revelation 6 through 19 says all the air of the earth is going to be polluted, all of the water is going to be poisoned, and the animals and plants are going to die. Lost humanity believes in evolution, denies biblical creationism, so the Creator is going to show His power and is going to hit Mother Earth that they're all trying to protect. And they can't protect themselves against God. Just look at the trajectory. If you just see all the droughts, freezes, tropical wildfires, winter storms, severe storms, flooding, and you just chart them, just the 40 years from 80 to 2020, look at this trajectory. And it's just exponentially, according to Jesus, going to go up. I like this. This is one storm. When we were actually driving through this thing, headed to the Word of Life board meeting, there's the Great Lakes, here's Michigan, there's Wisconsin, and below it, Iowa and Indiana right there. That's one storm that knocked down millions of acres of corn and soybeans. Bonnie and I were driving, and I said, honey, look at that. We were in Nebraska. Every acre of the corn was flat down, just like it had a steamroller come over it. And that was just $1 billion event of that year that had $20 billion events. All that is thunderstorms. That's what all the blinking stuff is. One storm that covered 700 miles. God says that's what's going to be going on all over the earth. Okay, what's the fourth trend? Well, the Bible says in those days, the people of tongue and tribes and nations will see the two witnesses, the dead bodies, for 3.5 days. Wow. And will not allow the dead bodies to be put in the graves. And those who dwell on the earth, that's speaking of humanity, that's speaking of everybody. Because all the living people that haven't died yet and either gone to heaven or into the holding tank for the judgment, all of them that are alive are on the earth. So this is saying everybody is watching an event for 3.5 days, and the whole world is not only making merry, but they're sending gifts to one another. This is Prime. This is FedEx. Can you believe that there's coming? See, that's why the prophets didn't understand this, because when one of the emperors died in the Roman Empire, the furthest reaches of the Roman Empire, some of them didn't know he died for 6 months. Because news traveled at the speed of horse and boat. And the boat would go, and then the horse would go, and if the horse didn't trip and the guy fall off and die, another horse would go, and they'd try and take the news to the furthest parts of the empire. It's even worse getting it to Asia. You had to go through, the Silk Road or sail your life away trying to get there. But in Revelation 11, when the beast and the false prophet and Satan himself kill the two witnesses, the whole world watches. Now let me show you. Yesterday at 4:30, all the green are the Facebook Live broadcasters. All the blue are the people online. This is just Facebook. This is not Instagram. This is not TikTok. This is not Twitter. This is just Facebook. Can you imagine if I overlaid all of the social medias? Those are all the people at 4:30 that were active yesterday. Do you see? This was not possible until, what year did the iPhone come? 07 or 09? I don't remember. But before the iPhone, the computer chip, before that, between that and the iPhone, the satellites. This was never possible. These are the Starlink satellites today. And terrifying video reveals Elon Musk's huge army of satellites as scientists warn of Starlink's hidden dangers. For the whole world to see an event, you need that. When did that start? That didn't start till very recently. In fact, Elon just posted a Twitter picture of every launch from 2010 through 2024 from his starbase in Texas. And it's a video from a drone that they hold on the Starlink base, and they superimpose over it every launch and every landing, and even all the explosions of all of his test vehicles out there. That's just the last 10 years, 15 years. Unbelievable.